Beautiful morning out here on Lake Marble Falls. Pretty quiet out here today, but it will be an entirely different story a few days from now as Lake Fest comes back here to the Hill Country. Good morning, everyone. I'm Terry Gruca. Thanks for watching KVUE News Midday. This is a special coverage that we've got going on. This is something new we're going to try here at KVUE. We're going to be doing live broadcasts kind of centering around our Boomtown series and talking about growth in the various communities in our area, and we thought this was the perfect place to start everything out here in Lake Marble Falls, in the city of Marble Falls, because Lake Fest is coming back. It has been here for 30 years and had kind of a 3-year hiatus. A lot of people excited to have this back. The drag boats can hit speeds of up to 200 miles an hour. They travel 1,000 feet in 5 seconds. It is incredible. The sights and sounds unlike anything that you have ever seen. And it all happens right here at Lake Marble Falls. Now, this is a dangerous sport. Back in 2015, a racer did die here. It is the only time that has happened here. And honestly, people come because of the adrenaline rush. Brings thousands of people, thousands of dollars to the city. Hotels here are already sold out. You can see the construction happening at Lakeside Park. This is part of the improvement projects, and this was kind of instrumental in bringing this all back because the city decided that they wanted to really enhance this park. They added a beach, some limestone seating, and the next phase will begin soon.
The EDC owns a waterfront tract that we're labeling Phase 1B of the park's improvement plan, and that includes boardwalk and the old powerhouse below Chili's. We have a schematic design in place right now to make that cool, put some water and lighting and that kind of stuff on it to really kind of showcase the history of the area and tell people how Marble Falls came to be and kind of tell a little bit of a story about LCRA and the Colorado River at the same time.
And that is a big part of Marble Falls history, is this lake and how this whole area developed. When they built the dam, they created this and made it Lake Marble Falls, and that's what you see here behind me. And so this park will end up featuring some of that history here in the coming years. It is a beautiful day, and weather like this is what they are counting on here this weekend. So we want to get you updated on the forecast. Shane Hinton is back in the studio for us to talk a little bit about that. You know, Shane, they really don't want a lot of wind when they bring these boats out here. That just makes things a little bit tougher for them, but this kind of weather would be perfect.
So it sounds like the wind would be more of like an additional challenge or an obstacle course for them. Okay, well, Mother Nature can't make it too easy on them. We are currently forecasting that we could see breezier conditions as we go into the weekend, but the good news is we're expecting tons of sunshine and very slim rain chances for the weekend. In fact, our best rain chances are going to be over the next couple of days. Right now we're tracking just clouds out there at our Kalahari Resorts and Conventions web camera. Just a few clouds there lingering in the sky. A warm start to the day. Temperature sitting anywhere from the lower to mid 80s for a majority of us, but as you make your way down to San Marcos, you can see it's already at 87. So we are dealing with some scattered cloud coverage where we're actually tracking an isolated shower and storm to the east a little bit earlier this morning, but as you can scan the skies now, you can see we're not dealing with much. There's that storm that you can see was popping up around Giddings and Dime Box. If I zoom in a little bit closer, you can see there's just a few isolated showers. Nothing severe is expected for today. In fact, that stalled frontal boundary still remains to our south, and that is going to be what helps fire up the chance for some showers today, but only about a 20% chance as we head into the afternoon. Temperatures peaking in the lower to mid 90s, so below average for this time of year, but as we approach the weekend, it looks like we'll be heating up, Terry.
All right, we'll make sure we bring lots of sunscreen and shade if possible. You know, Marble Falls is about 58 miles northwest of Austin, so developers are really starting to tap into this area. There are 2 new developments under construction in this area and a third slated to begin later this year. Gregg Ranch, Thunder Rock, and Roper Ranch will add another 3,700 homes to the area, and they all meet up right at 281 and 71. Very close to Baylor Scott and White Medical Center, and that's going to be another big hub here in this city. With all the new developments coming to Marble Falls, there's a lot of talk about the schools and the growth that will happen there. And so they're already starting to plan for some of that future growth, just like we've seen in some of our neighboring communities. We can see how quickly things can change. Take, for instance, Liberty Hill. They added 1,400 students last year. Lake Travis, 2,500 students in the last 5 years. And so voters here in Marble Falls approved a bond package several years ago to make improvements to the existing schools and also kind of scout out a location for a brand new elementary school, which is expected to be built and definitely needed in the next few years. That will happen right around some of those new development areas taking place here in Marble Falls. We've got a lot more coming here on this Boomtown special here, KVUE News Midday, including some of the restaurants that have really managed to thrive during this pandemic. But first, local agencies tightening some of the safety rules to slow the spread of COVID-19. We'll talk about that and how this push, too, may impact events like this out here in Marble Falls. Stay with us.
I think I built up a lot of fear and worry in my head about what others would think and how it would go telling people. Once you are comfortable and really know who you are, then be that person and make sure that people know that's who you are, be proud of who you are, love who you are. I'm Bryce, I'm a son, I'm a journalist, I'm a friend, I'm an iced coffee lover, and I'm gay.
If you've been in an accident, you probably have a lot of questions. Thomas J. Henry, here to answer your questions 24/7, nights and weekends.
Get the last replacement heating and cooling system you'll ever need. That's because select Lennox AC and heating systems include the Abacus lifetime warranty. Parts and labor, covered for life. It's why I trust when they say Abacus. You can count on us.
It may not seem like it, but time is moving fast.
Your future will be here before you know it.
Get ready with a free education.
Yes, free.
If you want a degree in healthcare, tech, or trades,
You may qualify for
The Career Expressway by Capital Idea.
my tuition and textbooks are covered. Plus, I get help with childcare.
I'll graduate from community college.
with no debt and no student loans.
It is your time.
Your future.
Go to careerexpressway.org.
to apply and watch our stories.
This is a paid advertisement for legal services.
Nationally recognized lawyers.
Over 40 years experience. Ready to help you 24/7.
Wainwright won for me.
Don't wait. Call 8. Respect. Justice. Demand it. Wainwright Injury Lawyers.
Whoa, that was easy. I can't believe I got 2 pairs for under $80. I was worried about switching to Progressives, but they made me feel great about it. Like a star. A star with lipstick on her teeth.
2 pairs starting under $40. Only at iMart Express.
Your time is precious. That's why Abacus professionals arrive when promised, prepared to get the job done right the first time, guaranteed. Guaranteed means whatever it takes. We're not done till you're delighted. Abacus, you can count on us.
Thomas J. Henry, here to answer your questions 24/7, nights and weekends.
Welcome back to KVUE News Midday, our Boomtown special here live in Marble Falls. You know, this city was named after the water falling over a layer of limestone, mistaken for marble, at the head of a canyon. And in 1951, they built the Starkey Dam and then buried the falls beneath the waters here of the Colorado River. And that's kind of the interesting history of how this became named Marble Falls. This is a growing city and the population is changing. Used to be a lot of retirement area, used to be a lot of people who were nearing retirement or even vacationers, and now that population is starting to get younger and have younger families, and so that is definitely changing things here in the city. We're going to talk a little bit more about the growth here in just a little bit, but first I want to get you the 3 things that you really need to know right now about COVID-19 here in Texas. State health leaders have reported more than 11,000 new cases on Tuesday. Keep in mind that includes cases from over the weekend, so that number sounds bigger because it does incorporate several days. Here in Central Texas, more than 2,000 new cases were reported in the Austin metro area. That includes Bastrop, Hayes, Travis, and Williamson counties. Burnett County at last check had 27 new cases. Austin-Travis County remains firmly in stage 5, those risk guidelines territory. The 7-day average of the new COVID-19 patients admitted to the hospital is 63. You can see the dark gray line graph. It shows right above that red line, making it stage 5. Austin-Travis County leaders are expected to announce stage 5 guidelines any day now. They've been talking about this since Friday, and so count on us to keep you updated. Travis and Williamson counties are moving into more restrictive safety rules in their court systems. In-person jury trials in Travis County are once again on hold. civil and family courts will move back online. In Williamson County, people attending in-person proceedings will have to wear a mask or social distance unless a judge says a mask can be worn or taken off inside the courtroom. And thirdly, the Round Rock-based Dell Technologies is now delaying the return for the work dates when they can come back to the office. According to the Austin Business Journal, leaders say it will not reopen offices next month like they had originally planned. Offices were in place with these low transmission levels, but they say that's not the case. So just out of an abundance of caution and because people are already working from home, they're going to keep a lot of those workers working from home, which I think is what we're going to start to see here in our area. Coming back live here to Marble Falls, there is several people talking about COVID here. This will be an outdoor event, and so not a huge concern for a lot of people, but they do want people to use common sense. We are going to start to see some boats coming out here on the water here in the next little bit, so we're going to bring you that live, as well as talk to the organizer of the drag boat race event, what we can expect and how fast these boats really go. Stay with us.
KVUE News brought to you by J-Con Roofing. Got a roof leak? Need a new roof? Call J-Con Roofing at 512-479-0510. Roofing at its best with quality and pride.
Need cash? TitleMax offers 2 ways to get it. Get cash using your car title. Go to TitleMax.com, enter the car year, make, model. See how much you can get. TitleMax also offers personal loans. No title required. Check out TitleMax.com when you need more cash. Check out TitleMax.com and shop us for rates. Get up to $2,500 with a personal loan or up to $10,000 using your car title. And you'll say,
I got my title back with TitleMax.
Get a title back with TitleMax.
What's new at TQ? Check this out. The one and only Bacon Ranch Hunger Buster, now for a limited time. For you ranch fanatics, it's your new #1. Pepper Jack lovers, we've got you covered. Add in the crispy bacon that everyone craves, and you've got a flavor combo only DQ can deliver. Oh, and for your sweet tooth, a blizzard of the month that's too good to miss.
DQ, that's what I like about Texas.
Home after home, room after room, thousands of families have trusted Zero-Res to achieve insanely clean and healthy results like only the experts at Zero-Res can provide. Zero-Res uses patented powered water that's scientifically proven to clean better than other methods. And with no soaps or residue, it's the safe choice for your family that leaves carpets cleaner longer. For a limited time, enjoy this special offer. Call Zero-Res today at 512-651-4567 or schedule online at ZeroResAustin.com.
Spokesperson for Lorenz & Lorenz.
You get hurt in a car accident. Why should you call Ted Lorenz?
Because when you're hurt, you need money, and I'll fight to get it for you.
Wow, why wouldn't you call Ted Lorenz?
When it comes to accidents in Austin, I'm on top of it.
It's time to spread your wings and your flippers. Breathe the air. Excite your senses from day to night. It's time to see the world again. SeaWorld. Get a SeaWorld annual
and pulling this one off. Last year it was late in the game and we called it off because of COVID, and then this year we're excited about pulling it off, so looking forward to it.
What can people expect?
You know, this is, if you had never been to a drag boat race, it's like no other. It'll actually shake the ground when they run down through here, and so it's like I said, we got personal watercraft that start out as entry-level class, and we race up. At this race here, we'll have actually top alcohol hydro that'll run over 200 miles an hour in 1,000 foot. And
it happens quickly.
It does. So you know, those boats are 420 boats. These boats behind us are actually Bill's boat over here. This hydro is a 520 Pro Outlaw boat, and this other one is a top alcohol flat, and it's a low 5 class as well, and it's a pro class that they be all they can be every time they go out. So it's not an index class.
Which means 1,000 feet in like 5 seconds.
That's correct.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Okay, now you have raced these yourself.
You know, I did.
So what is that like?
I started out at an entry level myself and raced up into a pro class myself, and have a daughter in another boat that I own now that actually she drives a pro mod herself, and then I have a good friend of mine, Tommy Rice, that drives a quick eliminator for me. So
it's amazing, and it's cool that it's coming back to Marble Falls. You live here.
I do. This is home for me.
And you've seen the growth here. What does this race bring to the city?
Right behind you, you can see this park is taking a whole new look. I mean, this is all new here. It's there's a lot of stuff happening that in this town. I mean, it's booming. I mean, it's the schools, everything here is. This is where they're coming. You know.
Why do you think that is?
Well, it's a beautiful place, and it's actually. You know, it's close, and a lot of people commute back and forth to Austin. Myself, I mean, a lot of my business is here. I live here, but a lot of it, I work in Austin and San Antonio and other places, and I'd soon live here as live there and work there, so that's the way it works.
Amazing views, right?
Yes.
So how many boats will be out here this weekend, and where can people come?
So when they cut pre-registration off, and we usually get about 20% more than that, we had 79 boats entered when they cut it off last night, and so you know, you can figure we get 14 or 16 more boats than that, so we're going to be close to 100.
And this is at Lakeside Park in Marble Falls. Are you guys sold out? I know some of the seats
the top eliminator and a lot of the premium viewing areas are sold out. General admission is still open, and there'll be tickets available online. Probably, I don't know exactly how far they go through, but they will have tickets at the gate for sale when you get here as well.
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday, that's correct.
Starting at?
Typically on Saturday we start racing at 8 o'clock, and then on Sunday we have chapel at 8, and we start racing at 9.
Can't wait to hear it. Well, thanks for being here, David, and for bringing these boats out with us today. I know it's hot for these guys out here on the water, so.
It is. These guys drove all night to get here from California last night, and these guys, fortunate enough he lives here. He's actually a lane sponsor, so we're glad to have him.
Yeah, been racing a long time. Can't wait to see it.
You bet.
David,
thank you.
Appreciate it. Shane, hoping for good weather this weekend.
We're hoping for good weather. I'm hoping you end up getting on that boat and driving at some point today. Can we make it happen?
I don't know. They're not allowed to drive today, so.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna
make it sink.
No, oh please. I'm gonna tell everyone that's watching right now. Peer pressure. Just tweet at Terry and make her get on that boat. That's the goal for the rest of the day, because it looks like you'll have fairly good conditions, Terry, to do so. We are still tracking that stationary front just to the south of us. It will cause us to have just the slightest chance for some showers and storms this afternoon. Stationary front just sitting to the south. It'll continue to bubble up and fluctuate. You can see we've been tracking just an isolated shower so far this morning, and we'll continue to see that as we go into the afternoon, but most of us staying dry. 86 degrees currently in Austin, but we're expecting this afternoon to warm up into the lower to mid 90s. It's going to be heavily dependent on how much cloud coverage we have. So right now we are still expecting a hot and humid day. Some isolated afternoon showers will be possible. There we go. There's that stationary front. Will continue to bubble up, eventually expected to lift back to the north as a warm front. That'll help not only increase our rain chances, but also increase our temperatures. So right now the best chances for rain are going to be on Thursday. So late Wednesday into Thursday, you'll see a little bit more scattered coverage. We're talking anywhere from 40 to 50%. But notice this, as we head into the weekend, ridge of high pressure returns, bringing back the sunshine and the heat, climbing back to around seasonal averages, which for this time of year is around 99 degrees. Now keep in mind, our rain chances will start to taper off as we go into the weekend and the beginning of next week. But first, we've got to get through this round of showers that's possible later today into Thursday. So this is around dinner time today. You can see an isolated shower. If you're going to the Austin FC game, we are expecting it to stay dry. As we go into Thursday afternoon, we can expect a little bit more scattered coverage. Those high resolution forecast models not entirely in agreement just yet. Your allergy count for today, mold is in the high category. Everything else is low or non-existent. Your Austin game, you can see we're going to be talking about the upper 70s to lower 80s. 7-day forecast showing that we're going to stay fairly mild for the rest of the week. And I do say mild, ironically. But Brittany, tell me you're staying cool some way today?
Yeah, I mean, I may be standing outside right now, but I'll be in there in just a minute. We're highlighting local businesses. Today we're at a place called Blair's Western Wear. We'll tell you what they have here and how they got started coming up. Don't go away.
See something big happening near you? Show us using
Keep Austin Local spotlights businesses and local events around town for you to enjoy. And Marble Falls, as you know, is evolving, but Blair's Western Wear keeps people grounded in Texas roots and boots. The funky fashion shop featuring Western clothing, hats, and boots is right off of US 281, about a mile north of 1431. KVUE cultural reporter Brittany Flowers joins us now live from there. This is one of my favorite stops along the way, Brittany.
Oh, I've already had a lot of fun this morning, and I'm learning things. I learn things every day, but I've definitely learned some things today. Let me introduce you to Casey. Casey, this place is wonderful. So how did you all get started?
Well, my husband comes from a long line of ranchers out West Texas, and so we thought we'd do something a little different than the ranching, and we decided to do something we knew, which was ranch wear, and here we are, and we've been in it forever. That's all I know. We don't know anything different, but we're loving it. Having fun with it.
So if I back up, obviously, if there's Western wear, there's going to be boots. And one thing that makes you all special is you actually measure people's feet.
We measure, and we have options for the people when we find those sizes. So just
okay, so you're not
just because we tell you what size, we do have options.
So we'll work our way back here.
Okay.
I didn't know that there was a difference between measuring for boots and things, and also as we go along this, I'm going to look more and more Western because that's where we're at.
We're going to get you countrified, girlfriend.
Thank you so much. I'm very much a city kid, but we're going to try it out today. So
step up to the palace over here.
So this is where people go to get their feet measured.
Yes.
They get to go on the stage.
The stage. And we use the handy dandy Branix device, which we've already pre-measured Miss Brittany.
Yes, we have.
We do figure out with the Branix device with her metatarsal joint and everything, we have determined she is a hair wearing a little wrong. We're a 9-2A, and we do have a boot. This is a Cayman alligator handmade boot. So
I've been wearing the wrong size shoes, probably.
Maybe just a little
Or are
bit.
boots different from other shoes?
Just a hair, but not much.
Okay,
But it's
so I'm
the
gonna put these
width
on.
that is the big thing we want to make
And
sure
what
you're
type of boots are
nice
these?
and snug. This is a Cayman alligator, an oil tan Cayman alligator. It's handmade. So she's ready to go dancing now, guys. She got her scooting boots on.
Oh gosh,
Hold
okay.
the as you come down, that weather's slick.
Well, and walking in boots is a little bit different.
Yeah, you
so
get
the
your
other
swag
thing
on.
that you all have, hats,
Yes.
and you all steam hats,
We do.
which I
Shape
didn't
them,
know
crowns,
was a
trim
thing.
the brim, whatever. Todd is a master in disguise and a jack of all trades.
Yes, so tell us who this is right here.
This would be my husband for many, many years, 25 plus years. So he's still here and going after it. That's the guy that's in good hands. He can do it all. So he's been doing hats for over 30 years, and he can do whatever you need to shape to it wise.
Okay, see, I didn't know that hat shaping was a thing.
It is an art, and I don't have that art because it is meticulous. It is down to the science of measuring off of your eyes to make sure that you get the right shape. That's not my gift, but that is definitely his gift.
Okay, so we have about 30 seconds left. So as he does this, will you tell everybody where they can find you?
Yes, we are in Marble Falls in the Hill Country. BlairsWesternwear.com is our website, and we are here Monday through Saturday. Come shop, come have fun.
This is very cool. How long does this process? We obviously don't have time to see the entire process, but how long does it usually take? I saw a gentleman come in
Depends
here
on how
earlier.
much you want done to it, whether you want it, if you want a crazy shape or you just need a little twitch or a twink or whatever, he can do anything you want. Change the brim. Felt hats, you've got more things that they can do to it. If you want to,
can I put it on?
Yes, go for it and show the folks the full outfit.
Is it on right?
Yes.
Listen, I've
Rock it,
never
girl.
worn boots, I've never worn hats, but look at me now. This is all at Blair's Western Wear. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you, this was so
This
fun.
is great. Terry, I look good. Am I right? I look good. I think this is a new look for me.
You look amazing. Yes, I want to see some boot scooting now, okay? Brittany Flowers always taking us to places
No, I'm
and
not
teaching
gonna
us things.
dance,
We
Terry. I don't know how
appreciate
to
so
do
much.
it.
You're
We can teach you. We can teach you.
You're good. You look the part, though. That's all that matters. Hey, if you've got a business or an event that you'd like us to showcase here, send us a text, 512-459-9442. You know what? This is some of my favorite stuff that we do here on the air here at KVUE, and Brittany does such a great job, so send her a message, let her know what to check out next. It's a great way for us to feature a place that you love. Stay here. KVUE News Midday continues after this. Still ahead, we're going to talk a little bit about the booming business here in Marble Falls. In fact, the city has taken in more sales tax revenue in the past year during the pandemic. The mayor will be here to talk about what it means for the city and some of the changes ahead. Sales tax revenue is a big indicator of how cities are doing, and most cities saw a drop in sales tax revenue during the pandemic. Marble Falls held steady, and since then has seen record growth, in part from people looking to escape the cities and come to the hill country. Hotel receipts hit a record in the second quarter of this year.
Marble Falls was one of the top sales tax generators per capita in the state prior to the pandemic, and since that time it's gone through the roof.
An hour from Austin, an hour and 15 minutes from San Antonio, Marble Falls is nestled in the hill country and within minutes of the 5 Highland Lakes. It's a small city with a lot to do. We've got wineries, breweries, parks, natural areas, restaurants, shops, and of course, a growing population. And here to talk about some of that growth is Mayor Richard Westerman. Thanks for being here.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Appreciate you being here today. I know you got a lot going on this weekend with the boat races.
We do. I think there's going to be close to 100 drag boats here this weekend.
Wow, isn't that going to be amazing?
Yes.
So what is it about Marble Falls that attracts so many people?
Honestly, I think it's just the friendly small town atmosphere. I mean, we're certainly a growing city, but we still certainly know everybody in town, and I think just everybody's just friendly here.
I think we need to talk about the elephant in the room, and that's COVID. Cases are rising across the country and in this state. We've seen an increase even here in Burnett County, relatively speaking smaller compared to counties like Travis and Williamson counties. Are you concerned about having a big event like this in that area?
We're always concerned. At the same time, it is outdoors, and the majority of us at this point have either had it or been vaccinated. I know I've had both myself, so. I think, you know, as long as we take precautions, I know they're going to be cleaning everything constantly, so I think I think we'll have a good event.
It's a big space that you guys have created here, and you've really done a lot of improvements to this park. Was part of it because of events like this?
Part of it was because of events, but also a lot of it opportunities. I say opportunities. I almost hate to use that word. We've had a number of disasters here, and FEMA's stepped in to help us stabilize the banks and everything. It's allowed us through grants and others to practically have a new park system. I think we've close to $10 million in updates down here.
And it's continuing, right?
It is
this
continuing.
is just first phase.
Correct. Yeah, we're also bringing in a new conference center right here at the other end of the park. So it's that's exciting, about a $30 million project, and then you know, obviously with all the housing that's coming in, I think we've had more housing permits already this year than we've had in a normal year. By the end of the year, it should have doubled the normal year, and then we expect that to double next year.
Talk about that balance, because it is a balancing act. This is a small city. A lot of people like that small city feel. There's stuff to do, but they want to keep it quaint. How do you balance that?
Well, so I think that's very important. We have to take some of those tax dollars and help recreate even a more quaint downtown area and parks area, and really keep that family, small town, friendly atmosphere. That's extremely important to me, to make sure we maintain that. You know, like I think you mentioned, our sales tax are up 20%. That's nothing. We've never budgeted for 20%. That's far in advance of anything we would have expected. As well as I think the hotel motel is the best we've ever experienced. The second quarter returns. It's hard to compare it year over year. I think it was up 111% or something. But certainly, folks are wanting to get out of the big cities, and we're a perfect destination.
What does that mean for the future of Marble Falls when you get that increase in revenue?
Once again, I think as long as we spend that money wisely, we're probably going to be able to lower our ad valorem taxes to the lowest point we've had in 15 years. We're going through the budget process right now. We haven't finalized it, but that's where I hope we end up. In addition, you know, with those monies, we have to expand our wastewater. I think we're going to be spending about $40 million on a new wastewater facility. Also, a lot of it's going to be through a grant process, but we have to accommodate that growth. We have to plan for it, have to do it right, and make sure that once again that we do it in a way that we maintain that small town atmosphere.
I did want to talk about the water, because you guys do something super unique, and that is that you reuse the treated wastewater, which a lot of cities across Texas, I've done lots of stories on, do not do. Why was that, and why is that a priority for a city like this?
As we use more water, we have to put it somewhere, and so we have pretty creative staff. We're doing a lot of irrigation with that product. Obviously, we have an irrigation farm, but we're also irrigating our neighboring town, Meadow Lakes golf course, with some of that water. So it's it's just out of necessity.
And to protect this, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the Highland Lakes it's a beautiful lake area. You couldn't get a more pristine place than the lakes, and we need to protect that.
Mayor, I appreciate you being here.
You bet.
Thanks so much. Looking forward to this weekend.
Me too.
Should be fun to see. This place will be packed.
It will be.
I know. Can't
wait
to see.
Not a bad seat in the house.
I know, right? Because they've got this great bank, so hopefully folks can get out here and enjoy.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. You know, Realtor.com just named this area the most affordable lake town in America. It looked at more than 2,000 towns that had at least 50 listings each month, places that had lots of businesses, marinas, restaurants, activities. Marble Falls was the only Texas town to make that list, and it came in at number 10. So you can see why it has been such a huge part of this area, and protecting the water is a big part of that. Shane, apparently we need to get our own KVUE boat, because we would have the lake to ourselves right now. And I think that would be a great place to kind of enjoy the weather we're having.
I love the sound of that. We need to try and work that into the budget, the KVUE budget, a nice KVUE boat. And you are in charge of naming that boat, I think, after all your hard work today.
Works for me.
Now, talking about the water, but a different kind of water, let's talk about the tropics, just because we do have a couple of updates for you, both for the overall hurricane season and what we're currently tracking. So we do have 3 areas that we are monitoring, one of which, though, not really. You can see that one area we were monitoring yesterday that had about a 10% chance of development, nearly 0% chance now. We will be monitoring a wave that's expected to move off of the coast of Africa. That's about a 30% chance of development over the next 5 days. However, as you make your way a little bit closer to the United States, we are tracking an area that could potentially develop over the next 5 days. Only about a 20% chance of development. Now, when I said we have updates on the hurricane season, I do want to give you a reminder of what NOAA really issued for their seasonal outlook. As you can see, we kind of had some updates based off of averages now. 14 named storms is the average, 7 hurricanes, 3 of which becoming major hurricanes. You can see their forecast called for 13 to 20 named storms, 6 to 10 hurricanes, and 3 to 5 major hurricanes. However, today they did provide an update. They do this every year, so this is not abnormal. But notice that now the named storm update is now 15 to 21 is projected. Same projection really goes for our hurricanes and major hurricanes. But I wanted to make sure you were up to date with that information so you can see and have that reminder that we are still in hurricane season. In a couple of minutes, we're going to be taking a more localized look at your forecast and showing you what you can expect for the rest of the work week.
I'll see you in a bit. Thanks so much, Shane. Still to come here on KVUE News Midday, Austin voters will get a chance to vote on public safety reform. Also ahead, the Big 12 losing Texas and OU, but they may be gaining some other teams. Stay with us.
Know what's up in Austin without missing a beat. Add KVUE News to your
This November, Austin voters will get a chance to decide on public safety reforms. This week, the city clerk's office certified a petition from Save Austin Now and their efforts to boost police staffing in Austin. The group wants to see more cadet classes, 2 officers on the street for every 1,000 residents, and step up training for officers. This morning on Daybreak, Save Austin Now co-founder Matt Makoviak spoke about why this plan is necessary.
Every violent crime stat is up at the fastest rate in 5 years. Our police response time to priority 911 calls is up 20% from the average of 7.5 minutes to 9 minutes. We're 365 officers below where we should be for a city of our size. We have to take public safety seriously.
Former City Council member Bill Spellman has been outspoken about this petition.
If we have to do it right now, which is what the proposition calls for, that's going to take money away from all the other services. And if something else comes up, if we have an emergency elsewhere, we won't be able to spend any money to be able to mitigate that emergency.
The proposition will be on the November ballot, and keep in mind a new law that goes into effect in September will require cities to fund police at 2019 levels or face penalties. So still a lot to figure out there. We know the Big 12 conference could become an even bigger conference. Yeah, commissioners for the Pac-12 and Big 12 are reportedly discussing how the conferences may benefit from working together or merging. The Big 12 trying to make plans after Texas and Oklahoma accepted invitations to join the SEC. On Monday, Big 12 Commissioner Bob Bosley testified before Texas Senate Committee and said there had not been any discussions yet about adding new members to the conference. So wait and see. Businesses here in Marble Falls really thrived during the pandemic, and one in particular from the people looking to escape from the cities. One Marble Falls restaurant was uniquely positioned to kind of handle these challenges, how Hurricane Katrina survivors continue to overcome.
The story behind the story, I think, is really important.
These beautiful scenes, the lake, the hills, not only what Marble Falls is known for. In fact, the pink granite that graces our state capitol came from right here in Marble Falls. Granite Mountain just down the street here off 1431. And it was basically, they took trains to ship it into Austin and help build our capitol years ago. Kind of cool little history there. You know, the other part of this community are the restaurants. They're widely known. The Bluebonnet Cafe, for instance, has been here since the 1920s. They haven't had to lay off any workers during the pandemic. They're known for their incredible pies, and they have stayed busy. Many restaurants and businesses continue to benefit by people looking to escape the cities. At the Real New Orleans restaurant, it may have been more than that. These are the same people who escaped Hurricane Katrina 15 years ago, reestablishing their life here in the Hill Country and serving up faith and food.
We've survived Katrina, Hurricane Rita. We had a flood that knocked off the bridge out there in Llano. We've survived that, and yes, we have survived the pandemic.
And they've done it with comfort food. If you love New Orleans style food, it is amazing. They have everything you can possibly imagine, red beans and rice, all the seafood you can possibly imagine. So check it out if you're here. Crawfish, highly recommend. And then of course, my pie guy, John Guskey, everybody knows from KVUE that I work with. But these, Shane, are you looking at this? These are some of the pies that come from Bluebonnet Cafe. That's what they are known for. They sell 30,000 pies in a year at Bluebonnet Cafe.
Now,
30,000.
Terry, now usually it's Brittany who's responsible for making me hungry during that show. That's a mountain. That's not a pie. Oh my goodness, that inspired by the Hill Country is what it's looking like.
This one's coming back to the station, by the way. Yeah.
Well, you better get up here quick, Terry, let me tell you, because that looks amazing. And it's a nice day to enjoy some pie if you have the ability to get outside and enjoy what Mother Nature has to offer. Could see an isolated pop-up storm at some point during the afternoon. We are tracking some currently thanks to that stalled boundary front just to our south. If we take a closer look into the viewing area, you can see it's really for our southeastern counties. We're talking Bastrop, Lee, Caldwell, Fayette counties. You can see that that's where we are expecting those showers to really be isolated towards today. And we take a closer look. That's where you can see them bubbling up. Nothing severe, nothing to be concerned about for the rest of the afternoon. Temperatures sitting anywhere from the lower to mid 80s for the Hill Country, mid to upper 80s as you make your way closer to the I-35 corridor. For this afternoon, expect temperatures to climb back up into the lower to mid 90s. This will be heavily dependent based off those showers and also how much cloud coverage we're seeing. We should expect a partly cloudy day overall, though. Looking across some of our web cameras, and we're seeing a fairly decent and dry day for now. That stalled boundary front is expected to eventually lift back up to the north. That will not only increase our temperatures, but also our rain chances as we go throughout the next couple of days. So we're going to be hovering below average for the rest of the work week, but notice as we go into the weekend, we're going to be tracking the potential for temperatures to climb back up to seasonal averages in the upper 90s. 99 is what we're accustomed to this time of the year. Notice that our rain chances are fairly isolated, if any at all, maybe an isolated afternoon sea breeze showers for the weekend. But right now we can see all that precipitation that'll be hovering around that stalled boundary front. It might bubble up to the north a little bit, but overall most of us are staying dry for today. As we go into Thursday, though, we will be tracking the potential for a little bit more scattered to widespread coverage, about a 40 to 50% chance, in fact. Allergy count low across the board except for mold. That's unfortunately still in the high category due to all that moisture. If you're going out to the Austin FC game today, expected to be sitting anywhere from the lower to mid 80s around kickoff time, which is at 8 o'clock, sunset at 8:22. Overnight tonight, we're talking lower to mid 70s, partly cloudy skies. It could feel a little bit muggy out there. 7-day forecast is looking once again quote unquote mild for this time of year, lower to mid 90s, but upper 90s just in time for the weekend. We'll be right back after the break.
Thomas J. Henry has fought day in and day out for every client we've had the honor of representing. Thomas J. Henry, available
I'm Terry Gruca, live here in Marble Falls. Our Boomtown coverage continues here. You know, this city has so much history. It was the first in the nation to elect a female mayor back in 1917, before women could even vote. Ophelia Crosby Harwood. So there's a lot of history here, and I heard some folks that were visiting from Houston just walk by and say this is like the hidden gem, and it really is. And it's going to be packed this weekend because of Lake Fest out here at Lake Marble Falls. You can learn more information at KVUE.com. Thanks for joining us.